Do it.
I think it was funny. I had this whole bit about how I was going to explain Carnival Row to you, but then the bit I was watching with Orlando Bloom, I'm like, I just need to talk about that.
Oh, no. That's going to be fun.
I had a good way to describe it, though. Basically, like, remember the movie Bright?
Oh, yeah.
So it was like that, but set in, like, dirty Victorian England.
Oh.
And, like, up the romance a bit.
Okay.
And, like, you know, a bit like a CW-ish thing, but put it on a channel that allows more than the CW.
So, like, sex.
Well, and violence.
And violence.
It's a lot of stuff that I like. Fantasy and heightened romance. I'm enjoying myself.
Nice.
All right. The Love God. Is that the one guy?
That's Thompson, yeah. All right, so welcome back to another episode of First Reaction Fan Reaction. I am your host, Caitlin Clothier. With me is my co-host,
Dara Whitman.
Hey, Dara, how's it going?
Hi.
How are we doing on this lovely Saturday or Friday when the video goes up on YouTube?
We recorded on a Saturday. It's going up on a Friday. Well,
going up.
We didn't get Pizza Hut.
We did not get Pizza Hut. Spoiler. But we're still thinking. I'm still thinking about it.
God damn it.
Hey, there's one 3 miles away from here.
That's not bad.
That's not terrible. I wonder if they deliver.
3 miles? Why wouldn't you deliver 3 miles away?
I don't know. Well, it's like 3 miles, but it might take longer. It's like in a different town, though. So, I don't know.
Okay.
But we are back, and we were talking about Gravity Falls still, and we are on season 2, and we just about reached the halfway point with episode 9, The Love Guide, and episode 10, Northwest Mansion Mystery, alternatively titled Northwest Mansion Noir. So there's like two titles to it. I don't know why. I guess it depends on where you are. But we're going to start off with talking about the Love God right now. And I know, Dara, you probably love this episode.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going like, but.
Yeah. Yeah, I Love God, not my favorite episode.
No.
Not the worst.
No.
Also, Love God has one of the funniest scenes in the series in it, though. So, we can't necessarily fault it for that, but we should probably get started with a synopsis.
Yeah.
But that cloud looks like, a cloud.
Boo! What?
A waffle.
The waffle.
Stop being the worst at everything.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, good. Robbie's not there.
Listen at clouds.
Clouds don't come in colors. That is a balloon.
Oh, dude, it's the Woodstick Festival.
Wait, the wood what?
Scarves indoors, wood rain on everything. Love God, you've probably seen him in that viral video.
Please tell me Love God's just a
like
band,
a real
right?
Concert? I've never actually been to one of those before.
That's because you've never had an awesome crew to roll with before.
Come on, Thompson. Lick that sponge. Lick that sponge.
Oh,
What
Thompson.
is he doing?
When you're with us,
He's going to get E. coli.
Ghosty Stones! Cemetery Ghosty Stones!
So why do we have so many tattoos
coming
when
from
he's
the open
15?
grave.
That's a good question. Actually, he's
Look.
16.
You look.
Actually, I don't know,
Thompson,
actually.
go look.
Nice use of Thompson. Gaze upon death.
Gaze upon death!
Oh, that's good. It's going to turn in Jennifer's body.
Gaze upon death! Gaze upon death!
We start off with, we have Dipper and Mabel, and they are hanging out with the teenagers.
Yeah.
So they're hanging out with Wendy, Lee, and Nate, who are like those two guys. Tambry and Thompson. Who
Yes.
will do anything for anyone's approval. And they are cloud watching at the cemetery. So they're like teenagers. They just want to hang out in the cemetery.
Didn't you ever just like lay down in a cemetery?
I don't go to many cemeteries. I don't really hang
You
out with
never
those.
just like chilled out in a cemetery?
No, not really.
Like lay down and being like, yo, we're laying on dead bodies.
Have you done that?
I did it once.
Oh, okay.
But to be fair,
Mm-hmm.
it was like an 1800 ceremony that was really close to my middle school.
Oh.
And like for Halloween, we would do like a thing there, like a tour guide thing, and then just like to talk about some of the graves there to like help, like it kind of like to make sure that like the cemetery could stay restored because it was old.
Right.
So we were there for that, and we had some time.
Yeah.
So technically, I'm not that creepy.
That's not terrible. No. Well, some people like to hang out in cemeteries. I feel like maybe because I don't know people buried in cemeteries. Well, not true. A lot of people I know don't get buried in cemeteries.
Yeah.
But the teens do. Gravity Falls, it's the hip young thing to do. And so as they're cloud watching, they see these hot air balloons. and those are indicative that the Woodstick Festival has come to town. Not Woodstock, but Woodstick, which is like an annual festival that they have in Gravity Falls where all the
Hipsters.
hip up-and-coming Oregon artists go. And just by nature of Oregon, we already know it's full of hipsters. Probably all
To be
filtering in
fair,
from
hipsters
Portland.
do have some weird food that I kind of always wanted to try.
Hipsters are like,
Well, weren't they the ones that came up with like avocado toast before that became basic?
I think so. That's a very hipstery thing.
I like avocado toast, actually.
So I love the names of the musicians that they rattle through, like Scarves and Doors, Wood Grain on Everything. So that I had a good chuckle when I first saw that. So Dipper says that he has never he's never attended an actual concert, and they talk about how everybody is going to go to the concert. But as they're talking about that, they hear this strange noise from one of the graves in the cemetery. Which is a little peculiar. So they go over and take a look, and they make Thompson do it because naturally,
Yes.
Thompson does it. You just say, "Hey, Thompson, do it. Do it, and you're cool." So Thompson looks.
No! Why did she leave me? Hey, what's up?
A loser.
Just hanging out in this grave, regular day for me.
Robbie, we split up forever ago. It's really sweet.
Like, what,
knowing
3
yourself
weeks
into
ago?
a Great for me, but man, time to move on.
What? I've totally moved on. Wendy, I miss you so much. I'll never move on, never ever. That was a different Wendy.
Yeah, the cemetery used to be fun. Now it's just depressing.
Wait, you guys, he's in pain. We can't just ditch him here.
Oh, but we can.
It's Robbie.
But he's suffering.
If there's one thing I've learned this summer, it's not to get mixed up in needless romantic drama. Besides,
True.
we're finally in with Wendy's friends. With Robbie gone, there's a good social balance. Maybe we should just let a good thing be,
If it's one thing
Just
Mabel
email
can't
them.
do.
Dipper's right.
Ah, I was just being dramatic. Quit it. Ow, ow, my face. Vulture.
Dipper is right.
But when they come back, we see it is Robbie.
Yeah.
Robbie Valentino, who's hanging out in the cemetery. And he is still hurting over Wendy. They broke up like forever ago, which is funny. Like probably in Gravity Falls time, it's probably only been like a couple weeks. But for us, it's been forever.
Well, for a teenager, it's like forever.
Yeah. For a teenager too. Probably just a really long time.
I thought we were done with Robbie.
No.
That was like the first thing that made me mad. I'm like, I thought we were done with him.
Number one, Robbie. He's here and he is, he's still hurting over that breakup. And everybody thinks it's kind of pathetic of him.
Because
like,
it is.
It's pathetic. And
It's
they're like,
pathetic.
"Oh." Yeah, they're not really feeling
Like,
it.
I get it, you're 15, but like, you were kind of a dick. And that's
Yeah.
why she broke up with you, one, because she's Wendy and just kind of.
That's what she does.
She goes with the flow. But two, you were trying kind of like weird subliminal messaging.
Yeah, and you were just like, you're being weird and lying about stuff. And
Yeah.
like, you shouldn't appreciate that. And like, yeah, he probably should be over it by now. So everybody thinks it's weird and awkward. And so they want to
They don't really want to hang out with Robbie in the group anymore because he's a douche.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
But Mabel, she doesn't see Robbie the asshole. She sees Robbie the tortured soul, and she wants to help him.
Well, she's wrong. I love her,
Yes.
but in this entire episode, she is wrong.
Oh yeah, no, it's very weird. This is like not-
Dipper's right and Mabel's wrong.
yeah, and where it leaves us at the end is kind of in an interesting position.
No, it's not.
But we'll talk about it.
Romance is like gum. Once it's lost its flavor, you just cram another one in.
Mabel, it's not that easy.
It is if you're the world's greatest matchmaker.
Did it look cool?
Oh.
That's me!
That wasn't
and then,
really
of course,
her, though.
there's
No.
waddles and gompers.
That's also
Match made!
without
That might work
consent.
for a goat and a pig, but Robbie's a hopeless case.
That is.
Hopeless case, eh?
Hot air balloons. Fixed gear bikes. Singing by the open road. My sandals are so open.
It's hipsters.
Folk music. It's the Woodstick Festival. Zeus, lock down the shack and hide my shirts before anyone
Hipsters.
tie-dyes them. They're slow. I Could probably take a few down.
Wait, Mr. Parks!
You really think I can make money off of these freeloading, kale-munching freak shows?
You just gotta figure out what appeals to them.
How do I appeal to young people? So young people are into hot air balloons, eh?
Not really. Are we? Are they?
Mabel-
I'm already looking for the description of the YouTube video, which is me saying that I loved it or just like seeing my pain.
There's favorite episode. But Mabel, she wants to get Robbie back on his feet. She thinks that she is some kind of guru because she's an expert matchmaker.
No, but she's not though.
She claims responsibility for Seuss and Melody, which I think Seuss handled that one.
Good point. Melody was back for a little bit.
Yeah, we saw Melody for a second. You asked about her before, but yeah, they're Skyping.
But like, she didn't do that.
Yeah, and then and she also married Waddles and Gompers.
No, but that was
now
without
they're
consent and duct tape.
Duct tape. It makes any relationship work. But now they have been dubbed Wompers. It's great. So, but Wendy thinks that Robbie is a lost cause. So,
He's not a lost cause. He just needs to go to college.
He just needs to like get over himself. He needs to grow up a little bit.
I mean, he's a 15-year-old.
It's true.
So, maybe, turn 20.
Yeah.
Go to college. Mm-hmm. You'll be fine.
It's fine. But for our B plot, I think you might appreciate this a little more.
That was
fun. Stan, not a fan of hipsters. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like their balloons, their their bikes, and their folk singing.
And their kale eating.
Their kale eating.
Have you ever had kale?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering.
I like kale.
It's like, you need it with something else, honestly.
Yeah. Like a good kale salad. Have you ever had the Costco kale salad?
No.
Very good. Would recommend. And kale chips. I like kale chips.
I never had kale chips.
Kale chips are good.
I think like the first time I had it, I was like at a brunch and like I mixed it with like a potato thing and that was pretty good. I think kale's really good for you though, isn't it?
I think it's one of those super few foods that's like, yeah, that was I think a hipster thing.
Like I'm fine with like kale, not like as like your main base for a salad, but like maybe like kale and some spinach and then a nice like dressing, some other good salad stuff.
Yeah.
That's good.
But Gravity Falls. So Stan does not like the hipsters, but Seuss, who's helping him, sees wants them to view them as a potential way to make money.
He's not wrong.
So Seuss, he's business minded here. I like him. So instead of thinking of them as your enemy, think of them as potential customers. So Stan decides that maybe they can appeal to the youth. With a Mystery Shack themed balloon at the festival, so we'll see. But meanwhile, Mabel wants to help Robbie, so she goes to his house, and which is a funeral home.
His family owns the.
Okay, this could get intense.
Howdy do.
Happy day! It is intense!
About us. He always says we're too cheerful for funeral directors.
I love them.
Come in.
Coffin break. That's good.
Cracker platter?
No, thanks for crackers. Sorry, I'm here to cheer Robbie up.
Show it.
Not have a dry cracker mouth for that.
There was a dead body, wasn't there?
Yep.
You know who
Okay.
would look good in a sweater like that? Mrs. Grabelson's remains.
Oh, absolutely.
They're adorable.
Puberty.
He'll get over it.
Your stupid brother is the one who ruined my life!
And Mabel's the one who's gonna fix it. Listen, Robbie.
It was
I
kinda
don't
your
used to
fault,
see you
though.
as a
That's
creepy
why I don't.
jerk. Like the human version of rat poison.
Go on.
But when I saw you in the cemetery today, I realized Robbie's not a bad guy. He's just a heartbroken soul who needs love. And gloves with fingers.
Hey, fingerless gloves look awesome!
No, they don't. Robbie,
I
you
have
just
a
need
pair, and
good
they're
matchmaking.
adorable.
If I say yes, will you leave my room?
I guarantee it.
Because his parents, the Valentinos, his parents run the local funeral
Although
home.
technically, I don't think funeral homes and cemeteries are in the same place.
They're probably close.
Are they? I think with like
Depends.
the few funerals.
Depends.
I think with the funerals I've been to, they weren't that close.
I think it depends on a few. For a small town like Gravity Falls,
That's fair.
they're probably like close together.
Yeah, all the ones I've been in are like around.
So we meet Mr. and Mrs. Valentino, who are just like, who have this really like great sense of, they're hilarious. They're like bubbly, they're chipper. They have a funny sense of humor, and especially about death. They think death is hilarious. And I love when they compliment Mabel's sweater and say it would look good on Mrs. So-and-so's remains. Like, it's stuff like that. You wouldn't expect them to be Robbie's parents.
I also wouldn't expect a dead body.
Oh yeah, when they're in the living room and they're offering Mabel some snacks and they just like put the plate on a dead, just an open casket. It's
Kid
fine.
show?
It's a kid show.
Kid show.
Death is hilarious. So, Mabel's very surprised to find that those are Robbie's parents because, he thinks she was raised by like emo wolves or something. So, but he goes to meet Robbie and says that, she thinks that he can find him, like a new girlfriend.
Or, not.
Yeah, she wants to set him up with somebody. She wants to help him get over Wendy. And he's not really like a fan. Like, he's not really a fan of any of the Pines family, really. So he doesn't really want much to do with it. But she ends up convincing him.
It wasn't his. I mean, Dipper a little bit, but like Robbie was still also a douche.
Yeah. But Mabel does manage to convince him to help set him up.
But like with who?
Mm-hmm. No, that's the question. Who's he gonna do it with?
Multi-bear? I'm putting you in the maybe pile.
Me?
Who could it be?
I'm just happy to be included.
Ha! This is brilliant. The perfect way to sneak cheap snacks into the concert. It was all Dipper's idea.
That is a terrible way.
Ideas! Kid, I sense greatness in you.
That is a terrible idea.
I think it's great.
No, they can see the snacks though.
All right, everyone's going
got a
home
big
and finish getting
bag.
ready for the concert.
Classic Tambers.
Why is she not going?
Tambry, you, me, date. Bring that sweet, sweet bod, your secret admirer.
I'm concerned.
Love is about to happen,
It's
Lazy
not.
Susan. Watch and learn.
Ask him about her steak dinner. We don't have one. It's good.
This is just what I get for trusting a toddler. Listen, I don't think this is gonna work
She's a
out.
tween.
Dating somebody I already know, it's kind of like admitting defeat.
Way to assume I'm even interested.
Didn't you date
Tambry,
Wendy?
let's be real. If I wanted to date you, I would have done it already. I'm just a little out of your league. Whoa, is that mustard? Don't want to waste that bad boy. Hey, can I get some chili fries? To go.
What? How is this possible? I'm supposed to be the best matchmaker ever.
Honey.
Mabel tries to think of somebody. She kind of is carefully plotting, trying to find people, have to have like the right age, have to have kind of a similar personality. Who could it be? And there's not a lot of people in Gravity Falls, so really the closest person that she can think of is Tambry, who is one of the teenage friends who is obsessed with her cell phone. She's always texting, always posting on the social medias, and she just kind of doesn't seem interested in anything. And maybe that's the kind of person that Robbie needs. So Mabel tries to set Robbie up on a blind date with Tambry. Sends like a text telling Tambry to come, like from her secret admirer.
Even though they're all getting ready for the concert.
Even though they are all getting ready for the concert, and Dipper is trying to devise a way to help Thompson sneak in some food.
Which was the dumbest.
Yeah.
Do we not talk about that right now?
Yeah. No, it is the dumbest. They just like tape him and then he's gonna like put a shirt over it.
That's like the God. That also pissed me off. I'm like, there are girls in the group, and they usually carry around bags.
It's true.
You sneak in food by putting the food in the bag.
Do they do the bag check though? Do they take the food out?
It
on the
didn't
bag
look like
check?
they were.
Yeah, true. It's Gravity Falls. It's an interesting place. They don't do bag checks, so yeah. So at the diner, the date doesn't really end up well because they're
not interested in each
not
other, Mabel.
interested in each other. Robbie thinks that dating somebody you know is basically hitting rock bottom.
Didn't he date Wendy though?
I don't think they really like knew each other. I don't think
Were
they
they
were like
in
close.
the same friend group though?
Yeah, I don't really know how that worked. But
So like he's a hypocrite.
absolutely, we put it past him. And Tambry thinks Robbie's kind of pathetic. So
Because he is.
But here we finally meet one of the performers of the Woodstick Festival, which is somebody going by the name of the Love God. There he is.
Woo! Who's ready to fall in love tonight?
I am.
Love God! That's what they call me and you. Love is real and it's in
Is he
your
like an ugly
face.
version of the Fonz?
What's your name, you little
I think
angel?
so.
Oh, Meredith.
Meredith, we got a problem. That cutie right there is your soulmate, and you're living without him.
Oh no! What do I do?
Kitty girl, you know what you love. Ow! Match made!
I must know how
Old
this
love.
works.
Well, between you and me, let's just say my name's not exactly a coincidence.
Oh my love god. Are you an actual love god?
Oh,
Call me a cherub. Boom, for you.
Oh, that's great. So anyway, can you make anything fall in love? Like that snake and that badger?
Just out there.
Gee, I don't know. That might be kind of hard to... Kaboom! Match made!
That's sex.
They're gonna make a snadger. How are you doing that?
Love potion, yo. I got it all. Summer love, young love, anti-love. Just gotta put a little on your fingers and... Pow!
Yeah.
Um,
I kind of liked him. I'm not going to lie.
Love God is funny. He, he's just like this big old dude, and he's just like he's kind of a laid back, and he's helping people fall in love. So that's what he does. He like kind of comes into the diner.
Against their will?
Yeah, kind of. He's a matchmaker type. So I think his whole thing is he just wants to set people up with people.
There's a difference between a matchmaker and like forcing people against their will to date somebody who they probably weren't gonna date. Like a matchmaker is like, hey, you guys have similar stuff, go on, like here, see how it works.
Right.
If it doesn't work, you're good.
Yeah.
Matchmaker's kind of like forcing them to think that they're in love.
Right. Love God seems like he knows enough what he's doing to that he's not forcing things, but who knows?
Okay.
Maybe. Except maybe I want to believe.
Okay.
But also I think he just likes his power because he just goes pew pew and people are falling in love with
he
each other
seems
left
kind
and
of
right.
chill, so like I'm gonna assume that you're right.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Like I'm fine with like two people like who are like already into each other, and then he uses a little bit of magic to like give them that boost.
Right.
Which hopefully that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
But Mabel shouldn't have that power.
No, absolutely not.
No.
So, but Mabel, she's like, you're such a great matchmaker. What do you do? And he's like, well, I'm actually like a love god.
He's
like,
a Cupid.
He's a cherub. That's how he refers to himself. And he uses love potions.
Oh, that made me think of Night at the Museum again.
With the Jonas Brothers?
Yeah.
Nice. That's really funny. But
that'd be funny if like I was in the movie and then the cherubs came in and made you fall in love with sexy mummy. Don't do that. That would be bad. Anyway,
yeah.
You can cut that out. I was just thinking about that.
I'm thinking about Robin Malik again.
That's fine.
So, anyway. So, but Mabel wants in on this love potion thing. But Love God is, no can do, doesn't want to. But she manages to steal one because he's all about that.
Is
Free
he like
he's all about that free lovin'.
Was he like macking on somebody?
He was macking on somebody.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It sounded like she was okay with the two, so okay.
Everybody loves the Love God. Well, he comes in, everybody's like freaking out. They're like, oh my God, it's him.
I wonder
So,
if that.
Love God's got love.
I feel like that's just because he's a cherub. He just automatically exudes like sexy pheromones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he just gives off that irresistible vibe. The guy knows what love's about.
My god! Sign my face!
Only if you sign mine, baby. Let's get weird!
You know what's weird? I'm I'm not as insulted when it's like a Cupid type person. I'm still insulted, but if it's like Cupid, then it's like that's their job. Oh no.
Whoa!
You don't seem as needy as I used to think you were.
Hey, you wouldn't want to maybe get out of here and, I don't know, go kiss in public a lot?
For some reason, I do.
Teenagers.
You know what? Forget it. Maybe I should stare at something other than my phone for a while.
Gasp.
Match made!
People shouldn't be forced into relationships.
Overpriced date.
We're just waiting on Tambry. Can't leave without Tambry.
Sorry, guys.
See, he likes
Busy
Tambry.
at the
Maple!
moment. Wink, wink.
What does that mean? Why are you winking?
Robbie took a trip to Smoochville. Now everyone's happy.
Wait, Robbie and Tambry? This can't be happening.
How's that?
He knew I liked her. How could he do this?
See,
Oh,
you
hold
just
it.
ruined
What?
everything. Nice.
Tambry? And you told Robbie?
Oh, this is so like Tambry to do this. Date my ex behind my back. I'm gonna tear her highlights out.
Guys, calm down. We're gonna be late for the concert.
Newsflash, kid. I'm not going to the concert. Not with...
Match made?
Mabel, you ruined everything.
Wait, guys, don't go!
This is like when the Scooby-Doo gang broke up in the movie.
Aw.
What did you just do? Well, unless you can break up Robbie and Tambry immediately, there is no gang. I have
Dipper
no
didn't
more
do
friends,
anything.
And neither do you. I'm gonna eat this.
I never should have gotten love potion from the love god.
You think?
Love potion? If you did a spell, then can't you, like, undo it?
Anti-love.
That's it. If I undo that. Also, you are not pulling off that V-neck.
Oh.
I know.
It's fine. I think it's fine.
So Mabel adds it to Robbie and Tambry's fries, and they fall in love with each other. Yeah. And then when Mabel goes to tell everybody, like, hey, great news, Robbie and Tambry, they're a thing now, nobody reacts well to it.
Because it wasn't a good idea.
Because it was a bad match. Well,
And
one,
you also forced two people who weren't into each other to date against their will.
yeah. Well, so here's how the cookie crumbles, because Nate, one of those two guys, he says that Robbie knows he likes Tambry. Lee, who is like BFFs with Nate, is upset that, Nate never told him that he liked Tambry. And then Wendy thinks it's typical of Tambry to date her ex behind her back. And all of them get mad and go off. And Thompson gets mad because he has worked so hard to keep this friend group together at his own expense.
I feel like if you're working that hard to keep a friend group together, then they're not actually friends.
Yeah, well, it's kind of interesting. Well, I feel like teens are hard to keep friends. They got so much drama.
Oh, that's true.
They'll turn on each other in the drop of a hat sometimes. Teenagers. So, Thompson is mad, and Dipper says that he told Mabel not to go messing with it. So Mabel realizes that instead of making everybody happy, she has made everybody miserable, and has to figure out a way to undo the effects of this love potion.
Yes, Mabel, it was your fault.
Are you sure that open flame should be that close to that dangling cloth and rope?
I'm sure about everything. Now lube up those engine gears with some kerosene.
Oh, they're gonna be
More
fired. That was
kerosene.
great.
So good. Handlebar bros.
Come back, guys!
Oh, they're doing that couple hug walk. Guys, you're in public. People can see you.
Dipper, come on.
So then we go to the Woodstick Festival.
Hooray.
And everybody's still kind of mad. They don't really want to enjoy everything.
Why wouldn't you
'cause-
still want to go to the go to the festival?
Yeah, you got tickets.
Yeah.
Go in. But Robbie and Tambry are there, and they're being gross PDA things with teenagers.
I mean, they're kind of just like wrapped around.
I love that. I love Dipper's line because I think about it all the time. When he's doing they're doing that annoying couple hug walk. It's funny. I just think about that line sometimes.
Do you get annoyed with that?
It's like I just remember people. It's like
I remember.
I just think every time I see it now, I just think about that episode.
I remember that a lot at summer camp. Like two people were like into each other, and by into each other, I mean 15-year-old summer camp love.
That's summer lovin'.
Had me a blast.
Summer lovin'.
Sometimes they don't
Happens
end.
so fast.
Sometimes they don't end that well though, or like they're on and off. Like I knew a couple people who were like they were like on in the summer, and then they tried to stick it out until like the end, for a while after they left camp.
Yeah.
And then they did it, and then by the time that like camp started up again, they were back together.
Oh, it's too much for me.
Man,
That's too much.
as long as they all grew as humans, it's fine.
That annoying couple hug walk. I still think about that line.
Let's make some miracles happen.
Hey.
Groupies, bedhead me.
Three-way?
Love God's about to get crazy.
Oh God.
Hey!
That was our chance. Love of country music, Ew. Oh, anti-love. To reverse the effects of love potion. Dipper, catch!
Oh no! Okay. Dance, Dipper.
Get those kids! Oh!
We must dash you to move.
Hey.
Good one.
Oh, puns.
I love all these hipsters.
Thank you.
Hex always seems kind of.
No, everyone's touching everything.
Dipper and Mabel, seeing that everybody is crazy, they want to go and find the love god to get an anti-love potion. And I love when the love god pops out with his groupies, and you're like,
So three-way?
oh, it's a three-way.
Okay.
Yeah, we see like a random female character, then we see a Tyler cute biker, and you're like, all right, I guess this is what.
All right.
All right. But they are able to steal an anti-love potion from the love god, and a chase ensues because he doesn't want them messing with love, because that's his thing, and they don't know what they're doing.
That is, again, accurate.
Yeah. And so they kind of.
I mean, I think that if they could have said to him, like, yo, I'm sorry that they said, yo, I'm sorry I took your potion, but I screwed something up. Can you use your anti-love
Yeah.
to fix it?
Right. Maybe. But also maybe he would have been like, hey, you dug your grave, you gotta lie in it, kind of thing.
That's also fair. That's what it's kind of like the love, like, what does summer love mean? Is that, like, it's gonna, like, you spray them in June and then it'll wear off by August?
Maybe it's like just, it takes
And
some
then there's,
time.
like, love of country music.
Love of country music. Ew.
I like country music.
I don't.
Really? You said you like Old Town Road, though.
That's true. Like, occasional country songs I'm fine, but country is a genre I don't like. There's a couple songs like I can handle, but
I like
as a genre I don't.
I mean, I like Johnny Cash a lot.
Okay, yeah, the old school like classic country.
Yeah.
Like, I respect it, but like the new like country that sounds all the same.
Most of the new stuff is crap.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like your Johnny Cashes and your other people who I can't think of their names.
No, like old school country, I have
Yeah.
a deep respect for. New school country, where it's like rock but terrible, is
No.
awful.
Hippie tea.
There's weed in it.
I hope so.
Just one clean shot to the back of their heads and everything's fixed.
That's so disturbing to put it like that.
No choice. Visions of Heartbreak Past!
Yes, definitely, absolutely. Ha! You really think we'd fall for that?
Sure, you can all marry me. Oh, guy from the $10 bill. I forgot I had a crush on you.
At least Gideon's not there.
You're not real.
True.
Just give us the bottle, Mabel.
So the love god is able to, he uses kind of like a spell or whatever to show Mabel the visions of Heartbreak Past. And so all the people she has had crushes on appear to try to get that potion away from her.
I was gonna say, like, I was surprised they didn't have Gideon, but then I'm like, oh wait, she never had a crush on Gideon.
Right. Gideon had a crush on her. Yeah, she was never really into him.
We got Mermondo.
So yeah, we get to see Mermondo, Gabe the puppet guy, Norman several times, and also the guy from the $10 bill.
No, Hamilton.
Alexander Hamilton, yeah. Just Alexander Hamilton just shows up.
You
It's
know what would
fun.
have been funny? I guess, like, if Alexander Hamilton for some reason talked and then got Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah, I think this episode came out before Hamilton was a thing.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
2013. Yeah.
That's, okay.
But
What was Hamilton? I don't remember.
well, a few years after that, I think.
Okay, well,
But it would have been very funny
it would have been.
in retrospect. The love god gets the love potion, but in the meantime, one of the funniest scenes I think in the show happens.
Yeah.
Finally done. When these idiots see this balloon, they'll understand that I love young people. I heart kids. All right, let her rip.
Oh no, a letter rip.
What the H?
What happened? What's on the balloon?
I eat kids, but we're kids.
No, I mean,
Punishment for our terrible taste in everything.
Is the floating head going to eat us?
Yes, Charlie! Yes, he will!
you can run.
Mabel, it's a trick. Don't give him the.
It's one of the best scenes in the whole show, which is Stan and Seuss are building this balloon. It's very terribly made though. Like it's you know,
cheap.
It's a cheap and it's a safety hazard. So the idea is to create this balloon that says "I heart kids" as a way for the Mystery Shack to appeal to the younger generation to get them to come in and buy things. But as the balloon goes up, a couple of the letters fall down, the thing catches on fire, and then over the festival comes the balloon with Stan's face that reads, "I eat kids."
Giant ball. And like it was a creepy balloon to begin with.
Is the balloon gonna eat us, Mommy? Oh, yes, Charlie.
That's the funny thing. It's like it's not moving that fast, and I'm like, y'all could have moved.
And what's the line that I think is funny? It's hold on. One of the people at the festival say it's heaven's punishment for our terrible taste in everything.
You don't have terrible taste in everything. You got weed.
So, but yeah, just specifically hipster culture is terrible.
There must be some stuff in hip, like flannel. Isn't that hipster? That's not bad.
I mean, I think the lumberjacks did it first.
That's fair.
So
I think they just stole everything from everybody, right?
It's just they're insufferable.
I think it's just because like they think that they can like they're like they don't think they need to work or they think they're better than everybody else.
Yeah.
Even though like they don't actually do much to help society.
Right.
I think that's the problem.
Word.
We're gonna get a comment saying like I'm a hipster.
I'm a hipster. So?
That's not
have you contributed to society?
That's not a hipster voice. Like, dude, I'm a hipster and like I don't appreciate that much.
Hipster. And like I'm writing this from
I
a coffee shop in
constantly
Portland.
eat avocado toast and drink black coffee, just black coffee, which is gross.
Man.
We're gonna get so much hipster hate.
Bring it.
Only a greater being from the heavens themselves could possibly stop.
So he's dead.
Remember when they killed the god?
No. I hope someone didn't die.
Yes, that would be awful.
What's everybody crying about? In my day, Zeppelins fell from the sky like raindrops. It's him, the horrible old
they're
man from the
Hindenburg?
sky. You know what? Being loved by the youth is overrated. Being feared, now that's priceless.
That is true. Hey, so Bruce.
Okay?
Please.
Mabel, I just wanted to thank you. I've been so miserable since Wendy broke up with me that I thought my life was over. But you were right. I just needed to move on. I'm happy? Weird, huh?
Robbie, people are commenting on our pictures.
Dipper, every time we played with people's fates, it's only made things worse.
They are
this is
kind of
fake.
perfect
This is
for
fake.
each
Yeah,
other
it's not
in a
real.
Gross kind of way. But what about our friend group?
Whoa, hey, look!
That Thompson?
Thompson!
Thompson!
Thompson! Thompson! Thompson!
Thompson!
Thompson! Thompson!
Thompson! Thompson! Thompson!
Thompson! Thompson!
Aw.
I think everything just might be all right.
Maybe
But it was
someone
built on a lie.
Genius matchmaker.
So, so the balloon comes. It's terrifying. It scares everybody, and it crashes on top of the love god. So they are able to get the anti-love potion. And Mabel goes to she like so just one hit to the back of the head, and I'll take care of everything. I'm like, oh, that's a little dark. But before she can do that, Raleigh comes up to her and really thanks her for everything that she's done. You know, he says that he's happy. And he's not used to being happy. And Mabel kind of contemplates, she's like, well, maybe I shouldn't mess with things. Maybe we should just leave it as is. And Dipper asks, well, what will happen to the friend group? And Mabel says it'll work itself out, and it ends up working itself out. You know, upon ridiculing Thompson as, you know, as a thing that they do, you know, because Thompson does something, he gets like caught by security, and it's funny and all that kind of stuff. And everybody laughs, and then they kind of get along. So as easily as teenage friend groups come apart, they're so easily put back together.
It's still based off, the romance is based off a lie.
Yes.
And manipulating people, and it might wear off eventually, and then Robbie's going to be depressed again. So maybe you still ruined everything. You probably should have just sprayed him.
Yeah. So, and we kind of end there, except we have the photo montage of Waddles and Gomper's wedding, and the song is really funny. It's like it feels like an old sitcom song. So, Dara, what do you think of this episode? Well, I know it's funny. I think you mentioned before in an earlier episode how you really don't like Love Potion.
I don't like love that's based on like a fake like potion thing. Like I get it if it's like based off a lie. That's also stupid.
Right.
But like, I don't know. There's just something about like a love potion where like it feels like you're forcing somebody into like this kind of thing without their consent.
Right.
And like, I just don't like it. And then like, I guess like Mabel learns a lesson, but like she's still keeping something that she force onto people.
Yeah, this is an episode with a really iffy message to it because she messes with stuff, but then she doesn't undo it. She keeps some of it, and it's like it feels something about it is not disingenuous per se, but it doesn't feel quite right. So this is an episode with a really spotty message.
It couldn't even be a thing of like she hits them with the anti-love potion, and then they like still remember that they had a good day together, and then maybe they still date.
Right.
That would have been fine.
Right. Yeah.
Because it would have been like like that would be interesting if like two people like were in a for some reason took a love potion, did some lovey-dovey stuff together, it wore off, and then they were like, I didn't mind that.
Yeah, so this episode, I feel like this is Mabel at her worst because Mabel, her biggest flaws is that she can't leave well enough alone, and she likes to push things, and she likes to get involved in people's personal lives. I mean, we saw that even in Blendon's game where she, instead of just being like, oh, I'll let that be, wants to get involved in things. So this is where she does it, and then the consequence at the end, it's like a weird,
like what about
spotty.
What about the guy who had a crush on, what's her name, Tamberlin? Tambury. What happens to him? Right.
But I mean, does he just get over it? Yeah, and it's weird. And you can say I mean, that's kind of life, you kept crushing on people and then nothing ever happens with it. But it's a weird message, and I feel like,
Also, you don't know when the love potion's gonna wear off. Is it forever, or is it just for a couple I know it's just a general love potion. Right. But you don't know how long it's gonna last.
Yeah, so this is it's a weird episode, and it's I don't think this is a huge one with the fans. Just this stuff with Stan is the funniest
part. Well, I think
part.
most stuff with love potions, just with anything, a love potion kind of episode, it just kind of feels weird. Yeah. Especially if you don't fix it fully.
Yeah. This isn't
I think anything with a Cupid thing is kind of unless it's again kind of what it seems like the love god kind of was, which is just I know you two like each other. We're gonna go with hopefully with him is that I know you guys are interested in each other. Let me give you that boost.
Right. Yeah. That's how we want to look at it. But
even hey, maybe you guys have stuff in common. And here you go. No, you don't like each other. Fine. Bye. Those are fine, but
right. Yeah, it's Do we want to kind of move on? We want to talk about some trivia and stuff, and just because it's a weird episode and it's iffy, and this is not Mabel at her finest. Even though it's a Mabel episode, it doesn't do well, I think, for her character. So let's see trivia. This is the first Gravity Falls episode to make a premiere broadcast on a Wednesday, although it was released on a Disney XD site. And then some website stuff as a part of Pranksgiving. Let's see. The ending card's cryptogram references Agent Powers and Agent Trigger spying on the family. We'll read that in a second. This is the first episode where Gomper's name is said out loud.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because I've talked about Gompers before, but I guess this is the first time it's said out loud. And it's so funny. The goat is a character that it never has a character moment really. At least up until this point, we don't really see it, and not in the way that Waddles is very much a character. Gompers is just really more of a prop than Gompers is a character. Yeah. So, but it's just there. It's just he's really funny. Let's see. Oh, this is so the scene in the diner where Love God goes up to an old lady and is see that man over there. It gives a whole spiel. It's he's made for you. You know what she like. Old man was originally an old woman. So 2013 cartoons now way more open than they were in 2013, even though it was only a few short years ago. So in the original storyboard, You see it's two old ladies fall in love and run off with each other. Yeah. So but this was cut and they had to replace the old lady with the old man. So
we progressed a bit though, so it's okay.
We progressed a lot. I mean, yeah. This was before this episode came out. This came out a year before Legend of Korra finale. This came out before a lot of the stuff with Steven Universe. Came out before some Adventure Time stuff. Where I mean now, like finally. Door has been open for a lot of stuff with cartoons, so I could talk for a long time about that, and we won't because it's a long topic. So, but another instance, the Love God's necklace. If you notice, he had it was like a man and woman symbol. Originally, it was, I believe, it was the transgender symbol. So it was that was another thing that they had to censor. So instead of the transgender symbol, they had to just do man and woman. Which is interesting, and then proof that Disney, not really looking for progress.
They will. Yes, they are if it gives them money. Mm-hmm. Capitalism.
So yeah, right. It has to. It's don't get me started.
That I understand.
We could talk for a long time.
But I understand that logic because people like money, and people like people who give them money.
I'm not gonna start. I could do a whole thing anyway. If you want to see me talk a little bit about that, go to our Legend of Korra finale where I kind of talk passionately about that.
If we ever the next time we do a random episode, which probably isn't gonna be for a little while.
Yeah,
leave it in the comments for a topic, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Let's see. As seen by Mabel's matchmaking figures, Mabel believes Dipper and Candy could be a possible future match, as well as Stin Abuelita and Old Man Magaka and a beaver. I think they'd be perfect together. And
Dipper and Candy? I think I thought that too at one point. I didn't tell you like some stuff where like I thought like maybe Dipper could end up with them.
Yeah.
But that was one I thought of.
That was one of them.
And then another one that came up in the next episode. I also thought that.
In the cemetery before the opening theme, one tombstone reads R.I.P. 1989 to 1971. How does that work?
Because blended blar blar.
Let's see. In the cryptograms, one of the cryptograms at the end of the video translates to "I eat kids," and then the one at the on the slate at the very end translates to "At the play or at the fair, I always see them standing there, dressed in black. They're on my lawn, but when I turn my head, they're gone." Which is a reference to those two agents who have been kind of spying on the folks of Gravity Falls.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, and that is Love God. Any other comments before we move on?
You want to talk about the next episode?
I think, you know what? We're just going to put this one to rest, and I think we're going to move on to the next episode.
Put it in a little coffin. seal it up. Bury it. It's going to stay there.
All right. So, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about episode 10, Northwest Mansion Mystery. Stay tuned.
So we're not gonna establish the fact that the one guy had a crush on the girl and now he can't. Is he over that? No, I'm still kind of upset about that.
I just want to do this song.
So that's not consensual either.
It was all a lie.
It's all a lie.
All right. We hammered through that. How long did we talk about that for? Still 30 minutes? Fucking ridiculous.
Whee!
All right. We'll finish this up, get a snack, and then it's time for the big stuff. All right.